Live.
Hey folks, good morning and welcome to the Phoenix Business Exchange East End edition. Not Bell's Corners, not South End, but East End. So Sam's going no, yes, no, yes. Little latency there, man. Sorry, I couldn't resist. It is October 8th. It's the top of the month. And any stats, send them out to Tony. That way he knows what's going on and can update the information I'm just about to share. And here we go. The sharing begins. Sharing is caring, right? And member of the week, Mr. Carl Richards. If you don't know what he does podcast editing or podcast training. So if you want to do a podcast, there you go. He can spin you up. And if you don't want to do the labor of love and do the production, he also does that piece for you too. Visit Carl's eCard for contact details or take a quick gander at Carl speaking. And there we go. Monday morning, Bell's Quarters. Click here. Today, click here for the East End, South End. Click here. What's happening? These will lead you right into the Zoom channel, and you're in Lake Flynn. Come on in if you're looking for a business networking community to help market your services and share or tap into other resources that are valid and true. No hidden mysteries here. Thursday afternoon, we also have a 1 to 2 session that's going on, and October 7th. Now that's tonight. Actually, it's going to be October 8th. Penny Lee couldn't make it last night, so if you're available, come on in at 7 p.m. and become informed and stay on top of your goals. That's what Penny Lee helps folks do. East Trade wins every Tuesday. So you missed this week, but as always, next week we are live. By the way, next week is Thanksgiving, so there is no Monday morning, Wednesday morning, or Thursday morning session. You can show up, but it'll be lonely. If you don't want to be lonely, show up the East Trade wins one. Facebook Live Meditation with Tony at 1:30 every Friday on October 10th. That's this coming Friday. Get Zen with your life. Then sound bathing. That's where Tony takes you and doesn't put you in a tub, but he puts bowls near you and he causes a good vibration to come around and it helps put you in a relaxed state of mind. That's really important. And then Penny Lee's got Dance and Movement is Medicine with Nia classes. And that's both online and in person. Friends Friday potluck. So if you got Zen with Tony at 1:30, at 6:30, you can have a bite to eat with Penny Lee. Just bring a bite to eat with you. South End Group, a hybrid meeting. So that means Zoom and in person, 7:30 on October 23rd at the River Lounge. See someone that's talking here today? QR directory for all members. You click on this and drill into that space. You'll see these QR codes. So that's part of our e-cards. We also have a URL link that comes in, and it has all your information amassed in one spot. Make it easy to connect with you and share information, including videos that might promote your business or speak to elements of what you do. All right, and we've done 3,134 times year to date connections this way. $4.9 million worth of business since 2016 done between members in the Phoenix Group. Year to date is $350 worth of transactions. All right, if you want to become a member, hit the apply button here today. And I'm going to hit the stop share button. And Tony, I know we didn't discuss who is doing the educational.
I have something.
No.
I might have something.
Go ahead, sir.
Well, first of all, I like your reference on the tub for the sound bathing. That's kind of cool. It's an energetic tub, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, we are just as a side note, we are doing the after hours group there this evening from 7:30 to about 8:30. This is to bring your goals together. So actually, any member that is with Phoenix that is already with the group, you can come in for free. Basically, it just we go over what your goals are. If you need any help with just some little things, sometimes we're working on a project and we're just looking for some answers and we haven't found it yet. So that's a good place to come to get sort of just a quick brainstorming on some of the things that you might be going through that you could just probably look into. All right. I want to talk today a little bit about expectation. We know one thing when I used to do shows, I used to do a lot of shows when, before I got into the moving business, I sold furniture. And it was mainly I would set up a little booth in the middle of the mall and have most of our furniture there. And it never ceased to amaze me that when I know there's a show coming up, I'll end up ordering a few extra products because when people see your stuff more, when they're visual and they say they're gonna buy things, you want to make sure that you're not going to run out. So I always bought a little extra for this show coming up, but it always when it came down to it, my before the show, there's always people said, "Oh, do you have this and do you have that?" So when I almost doubled or sometimes tripled my order, usually because of a show coming up, then it was almost organic that the people that were going to buy before the show were going to come out of nowhere. And I always thought that was interesting because I always kept my my inventory relatively tight so that you're not going to have more than anything else. But whenever I came up to a show, it was always like before the show, I'd have about almost 25% of my stock that I actually ordered for the show that sold before the show. Okay, so there's this expectation, and then it's sold. And then during the show, sometimes I still ran out of things. So what? And I saw that in so many things. So what does this really mean? I mean, one of the episodes of MASH, and this goes to one of the episodes of MASH was the doctors just found out that the order of plasma that normally comes in. This is what they'll do when a lot of wounded come in and so on. They get this order of plasma, and even though that things were quiet, they get this huge order of plasma, realizing that, oh great, now there's going to be another sort of a run, and there's going to be a lot of people coming in. And so it's a little bit like that. So it's just like Sam saying, let's say he does oil changes, he does oil changes. And if he were to double his let's say, whatever he would normally have, it's almost an invitation for people to come in to be able to, so that he could put that into people's cars. And I've noticed this in many shows. So what does this mean to your business? It means that when you have a higher expectation that you're going to need some things, then the universe in some way, or there's an energy, an unwritten law, that now people are now available for you. When is it, when people almost need you, if you're a coach or something, if they need your services, when you want to take a vacation, I mean, I think Eric would probably really attest to this. Just before he goes on a vacation, everybody wants Eric, and it's almost like they know that he's about to leave, and he's got this very non-resistant energy. I'm going to go on holiday. It's going to be so great. So he's going to be pulling his energy out. And so what does this do? The universe goes in the other direction. Now he's going to get all these extra clients, and there's going to be some of them be new clients that are coming in. So what does this mean for all of us? Have a higher expectation for what you think you're going to need. When I am constantly growing, when I got my bowls to start with, I've been getting extra inventory and extra things for each sound bath that's coming up because I have this expectation of everything. Yesterday in Bernie's East Trade Winds, we had to talk about what is your favorite season, and mine was spring because spring is everything that grows. I see everything, no matter what stage it's in, as growing. It doesn't matter what it is. Somebody comes to me with a problem or their perception of a problem. I see an opportunity right away. Something's going to grow. Something's going to get better. It's just my nature. I see the growth right away. So when you see that in your business, that things are going to constantly grow, then the energy behind it will compensate for that in that way. When we are stagnant, then you'll just have a regular stock. Another one was Susan mentioned to me one time that there's the women's home show coming up, and she buys this huge order right away. But what happens is about 20 to 25% of the inventory sells before the show. So what this says is if she were to, let's say, double her inventory on a regular basis, and then when there's a show, then double it again, then she would be able to take the extra stock that would normally go for the show that is going to be there. That way she can take that additional stock to the show that will be able to get extra sales. Because especially in a women's show, she's got to sell that stuff right there. It's not like a client where they'll wait a week or two and then they'll still buy it like I will. But if it's someone in a show that okay, I want a cardio 9, but she's out of it, that's a lost sale. That's just one example. So have a higher expectation for your business, and the clients will come to meet that. Okay, back to you, Bernie.
Thank you, Tony. So, folks, we're on LinkedIn Live as usual, and hey, there is the link to put your what you do, where you're at, who you're looking for, any of that good stuff, any upcoming news. Got a mortgages coming new rates, because Jack can control the rates, or Wendy's got a new place to live for folks, not her, but for people looking to buy or sell. And so we're going to do a round robin, and looking for the people that are looking ready to talk. And my eye is kind of wandering the screen. Eric's going, oh, no, don't pick me. And he's going, Eric, you're safe. I'm going to pick Susan McGarry first and then come to you.
Thanks, Bernie.
Oh,
good morning,
you're
everyone. Good morning, everyone. Susan McGarry with Pure Trim. Be best you by design. That's my new website and my new branding, because with Pure Trim, you can be your best version. And the product I wanted to touch on this morning is joint control. This one is phenomenal. I've been getting so much positive feedback from my clients just by taking one capsule a day, because what this does is it rebuilds your synovial fluid, and it also helps to produce your natural collagen. That's something that you already have in your body, but it boosts that natural collagen. So people are reporting back better mobility, getting in and out of their Jeep, getting in and out of their boat, going for longer walks, just none of that sort of stiffness with arthritis that it can have a tendency to bring to you. So if there's anyone that you know and care about that's looking to have better mobility, be sure to have them reach out to me. I have wonderful health educational videos that speaks far better than I could ever do by a doctor, that touches on how this works inside the body. I had a phenomenal BAM with Kat. There she is. It was incredible yesterday, and I'm really, really, really excited to start working with her with my business. And like Tony was touching on, taking it to that next level for 2026. And I believe with her expertise in marketing and her abilities, she'll be able to do that with me. So I'm super excited. Thank you so much. And I did some business with Tony. Thank you, Tony. It was so great to see you. And that's great advice. I did order double for the show this time. And you're absolutely right. Every time I do these shows, I never have enough, or I've sold it beforehand. And I just, there's nothing worse than someone coming, do you have that product? I'm like, no. It's like, wow, 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 wow. Anyways, back to you, Bert.
Excellent sound effects, Susan, and thank you so much. And if you know someone that's a disc jockey, not a jockey, but a disc jockey, have them reach out to Penny Lee, and because we're looking for that service, because people, have events, and Christmas is coming. Did I say Christmas? Oh my gosh! But if now's the time to book things, more so than you should have booked your snow tires in September. You're doing the changeover, unless of course you're dealing with Sam, Mr. Eric Sonego. It's over to you, and then we will bounce over to the fickle finger of fate, Jacqueline. Go ahead, Eric.
Thank you, Bernie. Sometimes people don't know what accountants say to their staff about the client before they meet the client. So there are general terms that we use for new accountants. And I'm in that position now because I have a new accountant joining us, fresh out of school. So I'm going to tell her that there are those that you want to save, but you can't. There are those you can't save, and there are those you can save, and they want to be saved. And that took me 15 years to learn. And what happens when you don't apply that is you waste your time in a lot of things that don't mean anything for the client, for you, for the firm, for anybody, because you cannot do anything about it. Yesterday, I visited a client doing their year end, and I took him aside and I said, when I do your financial statements this year, I'm going to do ratios because I want to show you how fast we're going downhill. Now, because I know that client can be saved. I don't do ratios for everybody that I do financial statements. I do ratios for companies that I think we're going to have to talk to a trustee, or for companies that I think we're going to talk we need to talk to someone in advertising and in marketing to expand that business. And wisdom is knowing the difference. Have a great week.
Hey, Eric, thank you so much. And next item, if you have content you want to share, through the Phoenix family of social media, reach out to Kat, send her an image, send her the links, send her the details. She can help propagate it and move it around. Jacqueline, what's going on? And then we will swing over to Sam.
Super. And here's hoping that everyone took advantage of that beautiful harvest moon. It lights the airways. It's amazing. And I know you didn't have to do it first thing in the morning. It was simply stepping out and taking a peek at that beautiful orange moon and thinking, if that is a harvest moon, what can I harvest? So I will take a beautiful deep breath and lift my shoulders and take them back and drop them down and suggest that perhaps for my clients, I will say that advance notice for their real estate showings keeps life easier. So as a realtor, they may say that you can either have advance notice or be flexible, because that may very well sell your home. Last minute showings can be the one that gets a perfect offer. So find a balance between convenience and opportunity. I help my mortgage clients find the balance and opportunity, and it's not too late under the moon to barbecue. So here's the last tip of the season. Bananas stuffed with chocolate chips and marshmallows wrapped in foil. You grill it for 5 minutes, and it's like the best dessert you've ever had. It is. And so you're thinking about that while you're at my Yoga for Your Personal Finance workshop. Yes, you could barbecue before the workshop that takes place October 26th for 7 sessions. Just saying, when you're looking for strategies for your mortgage money with a barbecue or not, you need to contact your mortgage honey.
Jacqueline, thank you so much. This next item came out of the East Trade Winds, and it's actually local. Helen's Hardwood Snell. She's out of Smith Falls. She's got an event that's happening in Carlton Place. Register online, $20 to be a guest in that space, and take it from there. Mr. Sam, spin a wheel.
Thank you, Bernie. Good morning, everyone. Sam Stores, connectedcars.ca. There's my contact information in the chat. Dash cameras are my main thing. Electronics in cars. Also do minor repairs, oil changes, brake jobs. And, the temperatures, as you probably noticed this week, daytime temperatures starting to drop. So my car cleaning services are coming to a close. A few more days maybe left, but not too many. I don't like cleaning cars in the wintertime. Kind of gets cold on the fingers, and wetness in your car that can turn into mold. You don't want the carpets frozen and moldy in the wintertime. It's not something I want to do for my customers. Let's see here. BAMS wise. Well, I finally got that fender liner in Bernie's wife's vehicle. It's all finished off and looking good. Hopefully that won't need to be done again in the next little while. I think Bernie doesn't want any more of that. So that's one thing that was finished off. Let's see here. Oh, yes, Thanksgiving. Speaking of Thanksgiving, I actually looked it up this morning. It doesn't sound like Scotland celebrates Thanksgiving, but Canada does. So I wish you all a very happy Thanksgiving this coming weekend and enjoy it. Hopefully the weather will be all right. That's it for me. Sam Stores, ConnectedCars.ca, today's mobile electronics without the cost of the vehicle, and lots more.
Okay, next person up is Susan Ebbs and then Wendy Chung. Susan, and just before that, water pump services. Not that Susan needs water pump services, but members in the group might need that. If you got a pool, you need to push water out, push water in. That's the type of thing. Susan, over to you.
Thank you so much, Bernie. I have fantastic products to help you get your home nice and clean and smelling good for before we close it up for the winter. Windows all close up, it gets moldy, dusty, whatever. This is the best product you're ever going to see, Solumel. It is a multi-purpose cleaner. It will get rid of pet stains and it gets rid of the smell also. Gets rid of, oh, you spilled the wine at Thanksgiving dinner. This will take that right out of your carpet. And the one thing that I found was really cool with Solumel, it will kill ants or bugs. One time there was a stream of ants when I was living in a basement apartment. I had left a breadcrumb on the floor accidentally. I came home and there was thousands of ants that have come out of the wall and were taking a little piece of the bread and going back to the wall. Well, that kind of scared the living daylights out of me. Sprayed some Solumel. Guess what? Bye-bye ants. So multi-purpose cleaner, like I've mentioned with our cleaners, they're concentrated. Little goes a long way. Susan M. with Melaleuca.com for all your non-toxic cleaning needs. And let's see, ongoing business with Wendy. Thank you so much. And of course, ongoing business with Penny Lee. And I don't think, no, I didn't have any BAMs this week. Thank you, Bernie.
Susan, absolute pleasure. East Trade Winds. You want to come in and join a session? There's the link. You can either populate it once and then save it to your calendar, or keep hitting the easy button and just re-register each and every time. Wendy, over to you, and then Tony. Go ahead, Wendy.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Wednesday. I hope everyone is enjoying this fall weather. It looks like today is the start of cooler temperatures, and the golf season is going to be coming to an end soon. So that's unfortunate, but I'm heading to Costa Rica December 9th, so don't feel sorry for me. I'll be going back to the heat, which I absolutely love. So it's been a great ride this whole year. I hope everyone else has had a great year and has hit their goals. Right now is the time to plan for 2026, and what we build today will come to fruition in the next 60 to 90 days. So again, always set your expectations and your goals high and go out and crush it. The market now is still moving. Anyone that's listing a home right now, there is a real need for them to be able to move within the next 30 to 90 days. So I'm looking for motivated sellers and buyers who are who haven't found what they're looking for or need to make that move before the end of the year. So if you know of anyone in this situation, I would love to talk to them. And if it's not within the next 30 to 90 days, if they're looking at doing something in the new year in 2026, I'm also open for appointments to be able to meet with people and help them plan for what's to come. I've got ongoing business with Kat. Kat, I still have to send you some stuff. She's been helping me with my posts and I'm starting to see some traction. Ongoing business with Susan S., always ongoing business with Jacqueline, as well as with Matt Ladard. So have yourself a great week, everyone. Thank you.
Wendy, thank you so much. So if anybody has to not show up for a meeting because of other events, either work, family, life, stuff happens, reach out to Mike. Not that Mike can cure that problem, but he can stand in for you and be your kind of your ghost image about your product and what you do for a living. Maybe not the sunbathing part, but he can come in and talk about it. And over to you, Tony.
Okay, thank you, Bernie. Hi, everybody. Tony Jennis from Higher Self. I'm the spirit guy of the group. I've got a client, several clients that came in, and it seems that there's a theme to a lot of them. At this time of year, there's a lot of changes going on. People are moving, people are changing jobs, people are going through, and they're making pretty much long-term decisions. And the ones that seem to come to me are the ones that they were unsure at one point, and they're all like clients that I've had for many years. And whenever they make a very big decision, they always look through all of the research that they've gone through. But at the very end, they'll say, what does Spirit have to say? And there's always a plethora. Sometimes once I get going, it's they got to take notes, or they got to record the session, because they're not going to be able to take notes fast enough. I start very methodically, and then it just takes off. And so we talk about everything. We talk about their health, their wealth. We talk about the what's going on with their car. I had one lady says that she just got a car recently from somebody, and I says on the right brake thing, it's not working right. So take it to somebody, take a look at it. And sure enough, there was some problem with that part of the brake. This is what Spirit tells me when I go through a session. So if you're going through and you're making big decisions, whether it's moving or whether it's changing your business, you're pivoting somewhere, it just coming for just to get an idea of what Spirit thinks, or not thinks. It's just what they are going to be able to tell you to share that way. Now, the answer is within you, and this is where I do the sound baths every month. Our next one coming up is on October the 29th. It's a Wednesday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Come on in. We'd love to see you. All right. It's a great time. If you haven't tried one before, you can come in for free for the first one and just to sort of experience it. But come with a question, because by the end of it, you'll have an answer. I would probably bring a couple of questions, because many people within the first 10 minutes, they get their question answered, and then there's another hour still coming up. So have some follow-up questions if one should get answered very quickly soon in. All right. So Tony Jennis from Higher Self, we are here to raise your spirits. And in terms of business, did some business with Susan. Thank you very much, Susan. Glad to come to your place. It just had to go to Calabogie to pick up my order. It's such a beautiful ride, and the colors are wonderful at this time of year. So it was great. Ongoing business with Kat. Thank you very much, Kat, for everything you do for Phoenix, for us, and you're just literally an angel. I can't describe it any better. Ongoing business with Eric Senego. Did some business with Josh, Rial, Carl. Business with, I attended Bernie's East Trade Winds, so very, very good. Thank you very much, Bernie, for that. And I had a BAM with Penny Lee, and Sandy Bonneau is our dog whisperer. Had a BAM with her. Other than that, I didn't do anything.
Tony, thank you so much. And if you're going to want to do a BAM with me and want to do it in person, we can always do it at the Ad Hive location. And so what do we do at Creative Insight? We connect people. And part of that journey is the Knack for Business podcast. It's motoring pretty well. Also involved the Property Wizard podcast, and obviously the East Trade Winds. You want to see who's been talking in past times? Go ahead and just take a peek at the link on the YouTube channel. You will find stuff. And lastly, let's see if I can get this to pipe in. It's not piping in the way I thought it was. And it's my co-host in the Knack for Business podcast, Mr. Wayne Pratt's got a book out there. He's also a co-host on the East Trade Winds, Freshly Brewed Coaching. And Eric's already bought a book. business transactions. Rael and I are using the chatbot to actually put in content so it's searchable through the chat of the podcast. And so it's a matter of putting the link, the name, the title, and then the script, the edited script as part of the content. So it's searchable information. So if you go on knackforbusiness.com and you go to the little question mark or the chat, it doesn't have all of them in there yet. That's a bit of kind of a tour de force, but so I've got to upload each and every one of them. So it's kind of a manual labor experience. However, that said, you can see some of the more recent ones. If you want to find out, say, Eric Pano, he's an example of one that's been fired into the system. That's of recent late. But anything you see in the Knack for Business podcast, I'm going to stop flapping my gems because, I don't want to have that glazed over look that Mike talked about earlier. And we're going to swing over to Madam Cat. And the stage is yours, ma'am.
Don't know how I feel about madam, because that kind of makes me feel like I'm a bad person, but
Nah. I'm gonna stop there because there's a whole repertoire that comes behind that. I'm just gonna sit there and just gonna nod my head and go, yep, okay, mademoiselle.
that will work better. Hi everybody. So today I wanted to talk about data acquisition. That may mean something to some of you, it may not to other people. So I have spoken to a lot of people over the last couple of weeks, and there seems to be a common thread. So they're all going to networking meetings, they're not all doing this, but some are going to shows, some are running competitions, some are giving away, a free digital download, they're running workshops, webinars, all these kinds of things. And these are basically an opportunity for you to collect data. So a data acquisition is basically acquiring or collecting data. So you want to be getting from these people, their name, a phone number, an email address, because what you want to do is you want to add them to your list. So you want to get them into a newsletter. You want to get them to, if I use Susan McGarry as an example, she has a system where she texts people a particular video that they have an interest in for one of her products. So you want to be able to do that for your product or your service. But you also want to get people to follow you on social media. You want to tell them about opportunities that are coming up. So offers on your products and services. It could be the launch of a new podcast episode in Bernie's case or in Tony's case, but it could also be you're running a workshop and you want to get, like Jacqueline's running 4 workshops. So she wants to get in touch with all these people that she's been meeting when she's been out doing her mortgage inquiries or her yoga inquiries, to get those people to know about what you're doing. But what I'm noticing is it's like people are scared to ask for this data. And yeah, I know there's laws and rules around how you can protect this data, but they're really not that difficult to follow. So if people are worried that they're going to get, sued for misappropriation of data, as long as you follow the rules, it's going to be fine. But you need to be collecting data. If somebody inquires about a product or service, you want to capture that data. I mean, obviously, legally, you can't just add people onto a mailing list. You need to get informed consent to do that. But there's nothing to stop you sending a general email to these people and saying, hey, you inquired about XYZ product or service. Would you like to learn more? Sign up to my newsletter here, and get them to do that, or follow my YouTube channel or my Spotify channel or wherever it is you're putting your content. But ideally, you want to have this information in a CRM system. Now, I appreciate for some of you, CRM is like a dirty word. It's overcomplicated, it's very scary, and you maybe don't want to go down that road. Or it might be a question of you don't feel it's for you personally, you feel you're too small. Or you might be somebody who just does it automatically and that's great. But even if you don't use a CRM system, I'm assuming, and I could be making a very bold assumption here, you've all heard of programs like Excel, so you can all use a spreadsheet, or, you know, you've got Google contact lists or your Outlook contact lists. So you have ways of capturing that data and using the data appropriately. But it's important that not only do you capture it, but you use it, because there's no point in you having a mailing list or a list of names with 5,000 people on it and you're doing nothing with it. If somebody says to Wendy, I'm interested in buying a house, and they go to an open house that she's doing, or they inquire about buying a property, if she speaks to them one time and that particular property isn't for them and she doesn't follow up with them, then she's losing the opportunity to sell them a different property. Or if it's not them, it's their friends, their family, or their next door neighbor. You should never, ever miss an opportunity, especially a warm lead, for your business. And I don't know why or how this happens, but people just don't follow up on it. And it's not even just random people you meet. There's a room full of people here. How many of you have asked each other to follow your social media, subscribe to your mailing list, or your podcast channel, your YouTube channel? And this is the problem, is everybody in this room is your sales force. Every time they have a BAM with somebody, they have a random conversation with their partner, their child, their neighbor, the random man in the pub, they may need the product or service that one of the other people in this group does. So having them on your mailing list, getting them to subscribe to your channels, means they know what's going on in your world, which means they can help get business for you. And it's reciprocal. So you know what goes on in Sam's world, so that you get people who need new brakes to go to Sam. But Sam says, oh, I know this guy who needs accounting services from Eric. And then he refers to Eric. But he needs to know how these things work, because if he doesn't, he's referring people who just, it's just a waste of Eric's time. Because if it's, I mean, I don't know 100% what Eric does, but there could be something that he doesn't specialize in. Whether it's because it's too bland for him or it's too specialist, I don't know, because I don't know accounts. So it's one of those things that this proves I need a BAM with Eric, but we should be having regular BAMs with everybody to know everything that's going on, so that we can be promoting everything. And for some reason, networking people don't ever fall into data capture. The people we randomly meet that inquire about products and services, that enter our competitions and stuff, we don't think about doing anything with that. We collect business cards of random people. We don't put it in. Even if a roofer, you have a problem with your roof, you contact a roofer, the person's amazing at that job. Why is that person not in your list of contacts? You don't even have to put them in your business list, but they should be in a list of contacts, so that when somebody says, hey, I've got a problem with the roof, do you have a recommendation? You can go to that list and say, yeah, I used XYZ company. They were fantastic. But we don't do that. Some of us will keep on a fridge or a magnet board a number somewhere. Occasionally it might be in your phone, but we don't track anything properly. So my main point of this presentation is, whatever you do, track it. And if you don't know how to track it, or you don't know what to track, or you need further information on why to track it, have a conversation with me. I can help you track it. I can teach you how to track it. I can even turn around and say, hey, you're doing an amazing job with this. Just keep up the consistency of a newsletter or a post or whatever it is. Because you've all got amazing businesses. Just utilize what's out there. Does that make sense? And I don't know how long I've been talking for, Bernie. I've just been talking.
Oh, you get another hour. No,
Oh,
just
God.
kidding. You get another, you can do another 4 or 5 minutes. You're on a good track.
Does
Sorry, go
anybody
ahead.
have a specific question about it so that I can answer that? Otherwise, I'm just going to talk and talk and talk, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I've still got 1:45. You still got like 7 hours, you know.
That's because your clock stopped. Go ahead, Wendy.
Yeah, no, Kat, thank you very much for your presentation. It's what a great reminder to all of us as business owners, you know, the daily practices that we need to have in place in order to grow our business, because we are in business to grow it. You know, we not just want to stand still. We all want to move forward. And the CRM is something that's extremely important. I've had a CRM for years and years and years. And recently, because of my former assistant, she didn't pull all the data out for me. So I'm locked out now. I don't even have access to it because my subscription expired. So when I talk to the company, you know, I've been with them for about, I don't know, 6 years. I asked them, can you turn it on again so I can extract everything out? And then I can decide where I want to put my database. And I'm looking at a different CRM right now. And they said, yeah, if you pay us $99, you can turn it on for a whole month and you can take everything out. So I said to them, you know, I've been with you for so many years. You can't just turn it on for a week, you know, just to allow me to extract it. And then the conversation stopped. So again, you know, CRMs are very, very important. So my database is locked right now, but I will be unlocking it very shortly and looking for a different CRM that's going to allow me to do more than the previous CRM. So whether it's sending out a newsletter or just sending out birthday cards, unfortunately, Canada Post is on strike. So every month I send out birthday cards, but I'm going to find a different way to do that. Probably just make a phone call to each and every person whose birthday is in the month of October. You know, that's another way around things. That's another contact. So yeah, all to say, good point, Kat. No matter how big or small you are, you do need a CRM. You need a database to be able to go back to people and set reminders. Who do I need to call? You know, especially like, for example, with Sam, everyone that you worked with last year to change their tires over from their summer tires to the winter tires, put in a call now and just say, hey guys, you guys ready to, you know, to do your tires again? You know, just like that repeat and referral business is so, so important. The other really important point that you made, Kat, was the follow-up. Follow-up, the fortune is in the follow-up. So every open house that I do, my one goal is to pick up one client, not customer, but convert them to a client. And I've been able to do that very successfully. Sometimes I pick up 2. And so it's amazing, you know, if you put yourself out there, you've got the right dialogue and you've got the right approach to people, you know, you let them decide and they can see the value in the conversation that you're having with them, knowing that you know what you're talking about, and then in hopes that, you know, they will realize it when they're ready, and then they'll give you a call back and say, hey, you know what, I want to sit down and I want to see what you have to offer. So great points today. Thank you, Kat.
Okay, so Susan, give me 2 seconds to follow up on Wendy's points. So, firstly, I can help you find a new CRM. That was not an issue. Secondly, I don't care whether you use a CRM, whether you use a spreadsheet, whether you're taking all your contacts off Facebook, back it up so that if anything ever happens, you've got a copy. And if you need a hand with that, I'm not going to charge you for that. Just give me a shout and I'll sort that out for you. Not a problem. And the other point you made about the cards with Canada Post being on strike, you can use companies like Send Out Cards who now have a digital version where it sends a text message or it sends an email that you can do instead. Sorry, Susan, all yours.
Oh, no, that's great. Thank you so much, Kat. I guess what was my question? Oh, yeah. So, what I've been finding from the 80s and 90s, working that way with a phone on your table, you're getting messages from everywhere, Facebook, TikTok. They're just coming from all over your voicemail, your phone, WhatsApp. They're just messages everywhere. And after speaking with Kat yesterday, she's able to capture those messages and put them into a CRM so that the number of people that have said, "Hey, I'm interested in your shakes, or I'm interested in your," you can't possibly remember those leads. And to be able for Kat to put them into a CRM where you can send them that newsletter, they may not buy today, but they may buy in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days because they remember you. So I'm just really, really excited to bring Kat in to my business, and also my downline, people that are in my team, they're also going to be utilizing her services as well. So it's scary at first because I don't know, like even social media funneling, Kat? I mean, that is so cool that every time someone posts a message on your social media, say, "Oh, I really like that. What did you, whatever." That goes into a funnel, right, Kat? Maybe you want to touch on that if you have more time, because that is just mind blowing.
I think, thank you, Susan. It's one of those things that you don't want to miss those messages. So you want it, so somebody inquires about a shake, like Susan was saying, that you want it to go into a funnel system through your CRM where it tags that they want shakes so that you're sending them information on that. It'll send a particular video or a particular piece of information, or you can send them a particular offer, newsletter, landing page, something that is specific to what they want to buy, so that you're funneling them into a particular pot so that they're not, if they don't want a diet supplement, then you're not sending them about a diet supplement, because then you're going to get people unsubscribing and unfollowing because it's information they're not interested in. But by using automation and funneling through your CRM system, you're giving them exactly what they want, but you're also capturing that data, and you can see exactly what goes on because you create the automation. So you basically create a process for it to follow, and you can track at every point. Did they open it? The email, did they not open it? Did they take you up on your lead magnet? Whatever it is. And it's a fantastic system because you program it once and it does it itself. So it's definitely a good process to have in place.
So this is an automated system, so that it's not something
Yes.
that you track. It's just something that whether you get an email or anything on your
It
social media,
tracks it
it tracks.
itself. So like Go High Levels is a brilliant example of this. I mean, there are specific tools that just do funneling, so you don't have to, that you can use like Go Funnels and stuff. But what they do is you program it, this is what I want to do. So if this happens, do this. If this happens, do that. And it tracks everything. But it works kind of like a conversation in the sense of you can go and click on Jacqueline, and it will turn around and say, okay, this is what we sent to Jacqueline. This is what she did with that. So you can track at every point where she is in the process, and you can find out at what point you converted somebody to a client or at what point you lost their interest because they didn't open, they didn't respond, they didn't do anything. So it gives you that opportunity of fixing a chink in the armor, so to speak, or it gives you the opportunity of just seeing your progress of what you're doing. So it tells you if a particular campaign's working or not working by how many people are getting involved in things and acknowledging things, and how many people are just not working on it, if that makes sense. But you can do it by individual email or you can do it by complete campaigns.
Okay.
That was maybe a bit convoluted. It's easier if you have a particular thing you're trying to do, and I work you through a particular example because I realize it kind of is a little bit above some people because they're not technology people. So apologies if I kind of wasn't very clear with that.
It's sort of like you design the automated email, right? So if someone
Yes,
expresses interest in higher self with the drum, what do you call them again? I'm sorry.
the
The
bulbs.
the bowls.
Symbols.
Symbols. So someone sends you a Google message and says, "Oh, I'm interested in that particular class." She'll program it to send an automated email without you even having to look at it. This is, "Oh, thank you." It's your words. "Thank you so much for your interest in the, we do classes such and such, and we'd love to have you there. Reach out to me if you have any questions." Just automated. And then if they don't respond, you can send another one in 30 days, 60 days. You program it the way you want you to stay in touch with that person.
But then you can track beyond that and you can go, oh, they've registered for this class, and you can chase up for payment, or you can track where you're sending a Zoom link. So if something breaks in the sense of the Zoom link doesn't ever get sent out, you can go back into the process and you can tweak the process as well.
Oh,
So
I
it's
like.
like it's a complete A to Z. It's not just one little portion.
I think Lita Bam.
Another one.
Another one. That's a good topic. Yeah. Anything automated is good.
Yeah, thank you so much. Good presentation. The automation is not just emails and social media, it's also text messaging, WhatsApp, the whole 9 yards. So there's a whole box of bolts that come with that. And the quote for the day: "He who cannot obey himself will be commanded. That is the nature of living creatures." Fred said that. Fred Nietzsche. Fast Fred.